Hey everybody, I'm so glad you could join me today. Isn't that a gorgeous bracelet? And the scenery is beautiful as well. If I ever show you beautiful scenery like that, it's because I'm feeling really good about life, okay? I can honestly say that the crisis that we went through, my family and I, a few weeks ago, a month ago actually, is behind us. And so we're very, very grateful. Things are starting to look normal again, and so that's why I go out in nature. I love going out in nature, and I love to see wildlife. And believe it or not, even though I live in a very densely populated area, very close to DC, we still see wildlife. In fact, the other day I was walking by a neighborhood and I saw a couple of deer right on the front yard of this one house. It was really, really amusing. It's probably not amusing for the owners because they were eating the flowers, but I love deer nevertheless, and I just think they're so adorable. So anyway, guys, today I'm going to show you how to make that gorgeous bracelet that you saw in the intro. It's a 2-strand bracelet using the beads from the bargain bead box for the month of August. Now, don't worry, if you don't subscribe to that box or you don't have any beads left over, I will leave a list of all the materials down there in the description so you can find similar beads. And as always, I will leave some timestamps as well in case you want to skip forward to any portion of the video so you don't have to watch the whole thing. But before we get into the tutorial, guys, I need to do a very important thing, okay? I promised you that I was going to do a giveaway. I'm going to be giving away 3 necklaces. So that's what we're going to do today, and it's my way of giving back to you, okay? You have been so kind to me these last few weeks, getting through the crisis and with all the nice comments and everything. It just really warmed my heart so much, and I'm so appreciative. This is just one way for me to give back to you, okay? Now, I know I can't give back to everybody. I wish I could. If I were rich, I would give every one of you a necklace. But I'm not rich, so I can't do that. But 3 of you will definitely win a necklace today. And if you don't win, that's okay, because I'm going to be doing more giveaways in the future. So please check back with my channel often and look for those videos, because I will definitely be doing more giveaways. Now, like I said, I'm going to be giving away 3 necklaces, okay? One is going to be a necklace that I made using the Curated bead box for the month of August. It's a long beaded necklace, very pretty. Another one is going to be a boho necklace set using the Magical Mystery bead box for the month of July. And then the third necklace set is going to be one that I made using the Curated bead box for the month of September. I hope I got that right. But anyway, I'll pop a picture of the 3 necklaces up on the screen somewhere so you can see which ones I'm talking about. So you're probably wondering how I'm going to pick a winner. Well, I found a really nifty online random comment picker that I'm going to be using today. And it's a really fantastic program because it saves me a lot of time. I don't have to go in and export comments. I don't have to print them, cut them. I don't have to fold paper. I don't have to put them in a bowl and pick a winner. I had way too many comments in my first video, the Curated bead box for the month of August. I had to think about 200 and something comments. So it would have taken me forever to do all that work and then pick a winner. So today I'm going to be picking a winner using an automated system online, and I'm going to do it right in front of you. So we're going to turn the camera around in a few moments, and we're going to go to that site, and we're going to go ahead and pick the winners. So I'm very excited. I hope you are too. And without further ado, let me go ahead and turn the camera around. All right, so here I am at my YouTube channel. I'm going to click on Manage Videos, and this takes me to my content manager. And let me go ahead and scroll down to the necklace, the Curated bead box for the month of August necklace. Here it is, right where my cursor is. And here's the link. I'm going to copy the link. And now I'm going to navigate to my comment picker. And right here in this box here where my cursor is, I'm going to paste the link. Now I'm going to scroll down and collect the comments. And it looks like we received 214 comments, as you can see. And now let me scroll down. And right here on the left where it says Start Raffle and Pick Random Winner, I'm going to click the Start button right here where my cursor is. So good luck to everybody, and here we go. And the winner is Julia Sopelis. I think that's how you pronounce it. If I mispronounce it, I apologize. And she left a very nice comment. She said, "I'm so happy to hear that your son is doing better and on the road to recovery. Many blessings and prayers your way." Well, that's very nice of you, Julia. Thank you so much, and congratulations to you. I'm so happy for you. Now let me scroll down because I'm going to copy this link right here, and I'm going to paste it into what we call Notepad. Let me open up the app, and I'm going to paste the link here, because what I'm going to do with this link is I'm going to put it into the description of that video, so that if you want to go and visit it later on today, you may. And all you have to do is click on the link and it should pop up this winner. So I'm going to go back to my content manager, and I'm going to hit the back button, and I'm going to scroll down to the next necklace, which is this one right here. This is the boho necklace that I made with the Magical Mystery bead box for the month of July. Here it is. And I'm going to copy the link. And now let me navigate to the comment picker, and I'll come back up here and paste that link right in the box. Let me scroll down and collect the comments. Right where my cursor is, you can see we had 187 comments. Now let me scroll down, and I'm going to go ahead and click the start button. Good luck to everybody. Here we go. And the winner is Michelle Rouser. I'm so happy for you, Michelle. Thank you so much for subscribing. And let me go ahead and copy this link and paste it into my notepad. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my studio manager right here and go back and find the next necklace, which is this one right here. And this is the necklace that I made with a curated bead box for the month of September, as you can see. Let me copy the link, and now I'll navigate to my comment picker, go back up to the text box right here, and paste the YouTube link in that text field. Let me scroll down to collect the comments, and it looks like we received 153 comments, as you can see. Let me scroll down now, and we'll pick a winner. Here we go. Good luck to everybody. And the winner is Pacific Angels Home Care. And I love that name. That's such a nice name. It tells a lot about this subscriber. Thank you so much for subscribing. I'm going to go ahead and copy this link now, and I'll paste it into my notepad so that I can paste it into the video description later on today. All right, guys, that's it. Let me go ahead and close my computer. I'm so happy that I was able to do this giveaway. Congratulations again to the winners. And like I said before, I wish I was rich so I could give every one of you a present, but I'm not. So unfortunately, we'll have to wait till the next giveaway. So anyway, I'm going to leave my email in the description. So if you won, please contact me, send me your name, your address, and everything so that I can mail you your prize. Okay, so now that we have the giveaway out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right into the tutorial. Okay, let's go over the materials. We're going to be using these gorgeous lilac quartz beads. They're 10 millimeters in size, as you can see. They're pretty large. So this is bag number 16 from the Bargain Bead Box. We're also going to be using these gorgeous rondelles in the color Rose AB. As you can see, it's number 9 from the Bargain Bead Box. We're going to be using the beads from this number 2 bag. These are the beautiful grass green crystal bicones. Aren't they gorgeous? As you can see, I don't have that many left because I've already used quite a few in some of my other designs. We're going to be using these gorgeous pressed glass green leaves. I don't know how many yet. We'll probably just only use one of them for a charm, but we'll see. And this is number 8. We're going to be using these bead caps. These are 6.5 millimeters in size. Number 6, as you can see. We're going to be using one of these toggle clasps, number 13 from your Bargain Bead Box. Now these bead caps are not from the Bargain Bead Box, okay? These are a little bit larger than what they gave us, and I want to use these on the larger beads because these little ones don't fit on the 10 millimeter beads. As you can see, they have a very pretty filigree design. We're also going to be using some crimp beads, some wire guardians, some crimp bead covers, some 6 millimeter jump rings, and some smaller 4 millimeter jump rings, as you can see. We're going to be using some of this 20 gauge wire, and this one is tarnish resistant in a silver color. And we're going to be using this Beadalon bead stringing wire. This one's 49 strand, and it's a silver color, and it's 0.018 inches thick. Okay, now that we've selected all the materials, let's go ahead and get started. Now you can use your beading mat to design a bead pattern. You can use a beading board, or you can use something else. I'm going to be using my magic rods. I carry these in my store, and I love these because they come in handy for arranging bead patterns, bead caps, large beads, small beads, and it holds them together with these stoppers, which is one of the things I like about these rods. They retain their shape. As you can see, they do bend, but they retain their shape, and they hold very heavy beads. So I'm going to be using this, but like I said, guys, you don't have to use this, okay? You can just use your mat or a beading board, whatever you feel comfortable with. Alright, so we're going to get started. Let me go ahead and cut this. Let me go ahead and remove some of these rondelles and some of these bicones. Alright, we're going to get started now. First thing I'm going to do is thread on my center beads, my focal beads. I always like to start in the center. And I think I'm going to add a bead cap on each end. That looks pretty good. Let me put my stopper on and flip the rod around, and I'll add a bead cap on this side just to see what it looks like. Okay, and now I'm going to switch colors and go to a green bicone. I've already played around with these beads, so I kind of know what I'm doing a little bit. And now I think I want to add a bead cap, a small one, and some of these crystals. I'm not sure how many just yet. Let's go with 4 and see what that looks like. Another bead cap and another bicone. Let me put a stopper on and we'll go to the other side, the other end of the rod, and we'll do the same thing. Bicone, bead cap, rondelles, bead cap, and bicone. That looks pretty good. Let me go ahead and add some more of these rondelles. My goal is to build a length that's about 6 inches. The clasp itself is going to add another inch, so it'll be a 7-inch bracelet. And a bead cap. That looks pretty good. Let me go ahead and add a bicone and a stopper. And now let's go ahead and go to this end. We'll add another set of rondelles. So let me get a ruler. Okay, it's a little bit longer than what I want, so let me go ahead and remove these bicones at the end. And now let's see what we have. We have a little bit over 6 inches, which is fine. Okay, that's what I want. So here's your first strand, and now we're going to build a second strand. I'm going to need some more of these rondelles, I think. And I think I want to use some of these 8/0 seed beads. These are in an antique silver color. Okay, so for this one, I think I'm going to do a seed bead, a bicone, bead cap, rondelle, another bead cap, bicone, and another seed bead. So that's what it's going to look like. So once again, bicone, bead cap, rondelle, bead cap, bicone, seed bead. That looks pretty nice. And I'm just going to repeat the pattern until I get approximately 6 inches. So let me go ahead and do that off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and I did change the pattern a little bit. I played around with it until I got the exact length. As you can see, I added some seed beads at the end to make it exactly the same length as this one. Okay. So this is what we have so far, and I think it looks really nice. The other thing I like about this is that these rondelles sit really nicely up against these large beads. They're kind of nestled in there. So that's nice. Okay, so now that we have our bead patterns laid out, now we're going to string them. Alright, I'm going to cut myself 2 pieces of bead stringing wire, and mine are going to be 10 inches. Now it all depends on how big your wrist is, okay? You don't want anything that is going to be too short to work with. So for a 7-inch bracelet, you definitely want at least 10 inches. We're going to need a couple of crimps, and these are size 2 if you're curious, okay, by Beaded. Here are my wire guardians. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do is thread a crimp bead and then a wire guardian. So you want to go in through one little end and then take the tail and thread it down the other little end like this. Take the tail of your beading wire and thread it through the crimp bead and bring it up to where the wire guardian is, just like that. One thing I like to do is to bring the little legs of the wire guardian together a little bit. Now before you crimp this crimping bead, you want to make sure your wire is separated inside that crimp bead. It's a little difficult to tell because it's hidden inside that crimp bead, but you definitely want it separated. And I like to use these crimping pliers by Xuron because I find them to be easier than other crimping pliers. So if you'll see that deep divot right there, that's where we're going to put the crimp bead. So just place it inside, and that's what creates the U shape. Give it a squeeze, and that's what you should have. Turn it on its side, and now you have 3 other little channels, a small, a medium, and a large. I always start with the medium one. So place your crimp bead sideways inside the channel like this and give it a squeeze, and that folds the crimp bead over. Okay, I always switch to the small one to tighten it up a little bit more, and that's what you should have. Now this next part is a little controversial. I always cut my tail off because I don't feel that it offers any extra security. A lot of people leave the tail there and they tuck it into the beads. I just don't think that it helps, because if the crimp bead's going to fail, it's going to fail whether you have a tail tucked into the beads or not. And what happens is, a lot of times when you wear a bracelet, the tail actually pops out and it's very uncomfortable. So I always snip mine off. But if you feel better tucking it in, by all means, tuck that tail in. Once you have your crimp bead on there, you can go ahead and add a crimp cover. And these are 4mm in size. Now to close these, you can use chain nose pliers. I like to use these crimping pliers. These are by Beaded. These are a little bit different than the other ones. So you want to do it gently. You don't want to dent the metal, okay? And you want to go around the entire bead to get a nice round shape. Just like that, okay? Now that we have our crimp cover on, we're going to go ahead and start threading the beads on. Let's start with this one first. I'm going to start with a bead cap, and then I'm going to offload these 4 beads all at once. That's one of the nice things about the rods. You can do multiple beads at once. And that's because it holds the beads in perfect alignment. Okay, as you can see, I've loaded the beads, and now we're going to go ahead and thread on a crimp bead, a wire guardian, and then thread the tail back through the crimp bead just like you did before. Check your bracelet, make sure that the beads aren't too tight. Okay, you want a lot of movement. Make sure that the wire is not crossing inside the crimp bead. Bring the little legs together of the wire guardian. And now let's go ahead and crimp the bead. Turn it on its side. Give it a squeeze, and then switch to the smaller channel, and you can even use the tip. Okay, snip off the excess. And now let's put a crimp cover on it. So this one's done now. Now we're going to do the same thing with this one. So I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video, and I'll meet you back. I'm almost done. I just have a few more to go, but I wanted to show you this process because it's so easy to slide them off the rod, bead caps and all, and slide them onto your beading wire. That's one of the nice things about these rods. It saves time. Once you have the bead patterns arranged, then you can grab beads in multiples and load them onto your beading wire, just like that. Alright, so this one's done now. Let me go ahead and crimp it and put the crimp cover on, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I finished off the ends of this strand here. So both of my strands are done, and now I'm ready to assemble the whole thing. I have my toggle clasp, and I have my jump rings. As you can see, I've got my beads for my charms. I decided to make 2 charms, one with a leaf and one with some beads. I've already threaded them onto a head pin. And this head pin is pretty hard, so I'm not going to do a wrap loop. It's just going to be a simple loop. For a simple loop, you simply grab the pin like this, give it a kink, 90-degree angle kink, snip off the excess, and that's my cat meowing. I don't know if you can hear her. This time of the night, she always goes nuts for some reason. So now that you've trimmed your pin, you're going to form a loop. So you're going to grab the pin with your pliers like this so it's flush, and then give it a little turn. until the end of the loop touches the rest of the pin. So you want to make sure the loop is nice and closed. Okay. Now for this one, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to use some 20 gauge wire because this is pressed glass, so we don't want to use anything heavier than 20 gauge. I recommend 20 gauge or something thinner. I'm going to cut myself a length that's about 2.5 inches long, something like that. We don't need a lot. And now you're simply going to thread it through the hole of the bead like this. And you can bring the bead to the center of your wire, okay? So for this, what I normally do is I bend the wire like this, and I cross it at the top. Now this has a little bit of give still, but I'm not too concerned because I'm going to put this charm on a jump ring, okay? So the movement is not a concern to me, okay? So now what I'm going to do is kink this wire. Right where it crosses, I'm going to grab it like this and give it a kink straight up, like that, okay? And now I'm going to grab the wire right here, very close to the bead, like this, okay? With another set of pliers, I'm going to do a couple of wraps. Now this is 20 gauge wire, so you really don't need a lot of wraps. 2 is enough in my opinion, but obviously you can do as many as you want to, okay? Once you've got your wraps done, you can go ahead and trim the excess. And you definitely want to tuck in that little sharper end. Make sure that it's tucked in really nicely and there's nothing sticking out. Once you've done that, the next thing you're going to do is form a loop, and it's going to be a simple loop, believe it or not. So we're going to grab the wire right at the top of the wraps and give it a 90-degree angle kink, just like that. Trim off the excess and form a simple loop. Make sure that the end of your loop is right up against your post. Straighten your loop out if you need to. And that's all there is to it, okay? I don't like a lot of wraps, and that's why I do these like this, okay? Plus this is very delicate, so you really don't want to be messing too much with it. You could use some very thin gauge wire and do a messy wrap, but like I said, I don't like messy wraps that much. Mine never turn out that great, so this is how I do mine, and this is 20 gauge, so it's going to hold up pretty well. Okay, so now that we have our 2 charms, now we're going to go ahead and assemble the whole thing. So the first thing we're going to do is grab one of these large jump rings, open it up, and hook the strands onto the jump ring like this. Once you have your 2 strands hooked onto your jump ring, go ahead and close your jump ring. Make sure there are no gaps. Now grab a small jump ring, open it up, hook it onto the large jump ring like this, and then hook on the bar portion of your toggle clasp and close it up. Now let's do this end. Grab the large jump ring, connect your strands, connect your charms like this, and close up your jump ring. Take the small jump ring now. Open it up. Hook it onto the large jump ring and hook the ring portion of your toggle clasp and close it up. And that's it, guys. Isn't that pretty? Don't you love that? I really love this combination of beads, the pink and the green. It's so pretty. Very beautiful. I love how these beads sit up against each other. Very comfortable. As you can see, we had to add the little jump ring in order for things to line up properly, okay? Had I just used a 6mm jump ring, the two strands would not sit flat up against your skin. So you need to pay attention to how the loops go on the toggle clasp and decide whether or not to use 1 or 2 jump rings. Plus, when you use an extra jump ring, it makes it easier to use the toggle clasp. Okay guys, let me go ahead and clean this up and I'll come back and say goodbye. Okay everyone, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Go out and make your own beautiful bracelets. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and make sure you come back and check for more giveaways in the near future. Thanks again. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Have a nice day and I'll see you next time. Bye.